Hello everyone, this is Karst, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So, I'm quite excited about this one. We're about 8 minutes away from being able to go and attempt to reclaim our gun. I'm not sure if I'm actually supplied with the right stats for this, all things considered, because I am anticipating a bunch of red checks. There's pretty much no way that I'm going to be able to do this without needing to make a bunch of checks. Like that part is obvious. So I'm kind of curious to see what I'm going to be dealing with today. Empathy and -1 logic. I'm going to take off these shades because they're holding me back. +1 empathy. I don't think savoir-faire is what I'm going to be needing. Yeah, I'm just quickly double checking everything else I have on. Maybe I can get rid of physical instrument too, but that might be bad. No, I'll keep physical instrument for this. It's possible that we might be in a close range combat scenario. Okay. That's pretty much all I'm gonna roll with. Alright, so let's talk to Kim and pass some time.
What do you want to know? You mean like a brief?
Yes,
3 days ago. There's a strong prejudice against involving the art.
Of
Just
course,
to be clear,
I understand.
we are police officer. Good.
No response. He's having trouble processing it. A moment passes.
What about me?
Oh, Kim, you're wearing a Revolutionary Air Brigade jacket, aren't you?
What? This? It's just seasonal clothing.
He zips up the large collar. And those look like airman pants. Good for storing tools in.
Where is this going?
You see, Kim, I have this place in my head, point to your head, where I develop new ideas and connections. You mean your brain, your mind?
Interesting. I think it's called the brain.
Thanks, Kim.
It's no mere brain.
No, it's more than that. Nope. Let's be conceptual about it. No, normal people don't have this. It's like a mind laboratory. A spiritual R&D division. No, a palette. No, better yet, a painter's atelier of concepts.
Okay, art cup.
Okay, indeed. And in this atelier, I have realized that you harbor some kind of sentiment towards the Revolutionary Air Brigades.
I do not harbor a sentiment for Revolutionary Air Brigades in particular.
Just Air Brigades, then?
Okay, I wanted to become an aerostatic pilot. Then I turned 10 and realized we no longer have an air force.
Oh. Are you sure the Revolutionary has got nothing to do with this?
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you, my mind is satisfied.
Good.
Tell me a secret.
No.
Oh,
The
okay.
lieutenant nods.
Almost there, 3 minutes.
What do you mean? I have no...
The lieutenant, but this isn't an old school case.
So, how do you tap the side of your head? I'm noticing that time doesn't move unless you picked an option that you've never selected before.
What? Think? I do most of my work inside my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his familiar mnemotechnique A6 and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself
58.
take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
You're wearing
That's correct.
glasses.
That makes him a binoclad. Completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
I am absolutely not about to insult him. I'm not going to call him a Beano. Glasses are cool.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome. Good. Let's change the subject.
You seem to be
Excuse
following
me?
me. Nothing, just an observation.
You have a distinctive way of walking.
Oh.
If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
He's looking for the right words. What do you mean by distinctive?
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants
Nice.
for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Oh, I see. I like that they're responding to the thoughts that I've internalized. Yeah, the Jamrock Shuffle. Absolutely.
Yes, but containers contain things, shiny things. They're interesting.
You're kidding me. Why containers?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess.
True.
I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Alright, nothing, leave. Okay, so where exactly am I headed then to do this? Confront the pigs. You must meet her near the old fish market at this time. Get your service weapon back. Walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. So I should be in the right location. Have they spawned in yet, or what? Am I in the wrong spot? Hello? Maybe I need to fast travel here or something. Maybe they just haven't spawned yet. Or maybe I can go into a house and then come out again. Let's do that. Or, right, this is someone else's house. I can travel back to the church. And then try that again. I assume this was the old market, right? I would imagine. Oh, here we are. So
Put
she
your
just...
hands where I can see them.
Are you just pretending to be a cop with the sirens? The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
She screams in the megaphone.
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand.
Yep, she's holding my gun.
Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Ooh, we're going straight into it.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
I like the fact that I have my sword out and the game is recognizing that. I do appreciate that. Easy, ma'am. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down. We just need to talk.
Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Hand-eye coordination. Formidable. 13. Time to get my gun. This seems like a bad idea. +1. This is the pigs. We can solve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect alert! Get on the ground!
Her eyes dart between you and Kim.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Blow her away. Oh no. The lieutenant is trying to maintain eye contact. Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Her head snaps at you.
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. What happened to make her like this? Yes, sure, but also in a less abstract way. The neurodegenerative disease I mentioned earlier.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police, shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
He yells into the megaphone.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
Oh. I feel like this showdown would be a little bit more impressive if Kim was actually aiming his gun at her instead of, you know, off to her left shoulder, but that's fine. Ma'am, we're here to help. Tell us what's wrong.
The woman looks at you, but through you. like you don't exist. Her eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks.
Oh.
This is the police! Unlawful engagement! Hands on the ground! Scumbag!
She howls through her megaphone.
So this is what the weather's like on the other end of a cop's gun.
Him?
Fascinating.
The lieutenant's eyes stay fixed on the woman and her gun. He studies them closely and then mumbles.
See? This is what happens when we're not around.
He glances at you. Officer Pigs, double Elysium Harrier Dubois, requesting your sidearm for inspection. Hold out my badge.
What?
She lowers the megaphone and stares at the gun in her hand. Patrol officer, you're in gross violation of the RCM Code of Conduct.
Sir?
She hesitates, looking around in confusion. The three-barreled pepper box wavers in her
In
hand.
this moment of hesitation, she almost doesn't seem disturbed, but like someone suddenly wakened from a deep sleep.
Patrol officer, I have to sign you up for a disciplinary hearing. Slowly shake your head.
Easy. Press her too hard and she...
Yeah, true. The lieutenant whispers.
Too late, Lieutenant. With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth. A trickle of blood runs down her chin. She doesn't notice it.
Yeah, I kind of thought I was pushing her a bit too much with that one.
Officer compromise! Unlawful impersonation! Pigs en route! Engage at will!
Okay. She's actually more agitated now. My bad.
It went up, though, 58%. Are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
The megaphone makes her voice almost painfully metallic.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Fair enough. You're not the police. We are the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
She lowers the megaphone halfway, but immediately raises it again and screams. Definitely not going with the first option. I'm gonna go with Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th.
No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth! Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
The crazed woman mumbles, shaking her head. But then she suddenly raises the megaphone and screams.
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
True.
What's the situation, officer?
The lieutenant hesitates, addressing the woman.
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
She screams in the megaphone. Red and blue lights illuminate, the spit flying everywhere.
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
We really are cops. Look, my badge. Take out your badge and show it to her.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
He repeatedly bashes the megaphone against her head and screams in the bloody mouthpiece.
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood.
58%. Time to get my gun.
Here's the plan.
Oh,
Drop
okay.
the multi-tool and immediately dart right. The noise will startle her, allowing you to close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist.
I don't want to break her wrist.
Fingers locked behind her head. Knee to the face. Knee to the face. Crush the rib cage. Sidestep and drop her with a hammer kick.
We don't need to be that violent with her.
No, that won't be necessary. Look
Yeah.
closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Wonderful. Whisper this to Kim. I'm almost certain there are no bullets in that gun.
I've been thinking that too, but it's impossible to tell for certain in these lighting conditions.
Ma'am, the weapon you're holding is mine, and I know it has no bullets.
What?
The woman looks at the weapon in disbelief, her eyes suddenly reddish with tears. She looks straight down the barrel and squeezes the trigger. Wait,
This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. What is this?
a click. Nothing happens. She looks at the useless weapon.
Police guns always have bullets.
Oh,
What is this? Why did you sell me this?
the gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down her scratched cheeks.
She looks devastated. Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Pick it up.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Her voice is growing fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly.
Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
The lieutenant holsters his pistol.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
The old woman mumbles, staring blank at the boardwalk. I'm very sorry this is how life turned out for you. Gently touch her shoulder.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
The lieutenant replies, inspecting the catatonic woman standing in the dark. But why was she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8. And loneliness.
He lowers his voice. Nod. Neurodegenerative disease.
Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
He agrees with you. Should we just arrest her? I don't really want to, but...
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
I think you're right. In this case, they are essentially the neighborhood watch. They can look after her. And based on what I've seen talking to them, they do have the citizens' best interests at heart. There's no reason to arrest her. Alright, Titus sounds like the man for the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. She mutters that sentence. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence.
Reflex to what? Being left alone?
Possibly.
She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more?
I'll consider it. First thing first, though, I have my gun. Do I have bullets? I thought I had bullets. Did I not find a bullet? Or did I give it to Kim? I might have given it to Kim. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I found a bullet one time. But I must have dropped it somewhere. Oh, I can just hold that? I never realized. Huh, free stats. Well then. Okay, well, I'm not seeing the bullet in my inventory at this time, so... Alright, let's check her then.
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there, too. You're thinking of taking them? Do.
I'm gonna shake her shoulder, see if she's okay.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
I kinda want to pick up the cap.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It might be.
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
Maybe. Probably. You know me.
It's your hat.
The lieutenant nods. I'm not touching the narcotics. Okay, what, a new hat. My hat. +1 authority, member of an organization. The cap is sturdy and comfortable. It seems to retain its form very well. It fits you perfectly. The inside of it smells like cheap tobacco and typewriter ink. It feels familiar somehow. Perhaps it too is yours? Though how the pigs got it is a mystery. Okay. Free authority. I won't complain. Maybe I should carry this around. Inland Empire, empathy. How's my authority doing at the moment? Authority's decent. I'll think about it. Okay. In that case, it's time to go back to the waterfront then. I want to talk Titus before they go to bed. I never did find those traces of like potential traces of bullets, like for the shooter, but I'm more concerned about getting that woman to safety first. So, Titus, I hope you're still around. It's only 10:30. Oh yeah, wonderful.
The Copper NATO is back.
He smirks.
What do you want?
There's an old catatonic lady in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
The big man laughs, nearly spitting out his beer.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
The lieutenant looks Titus in the eye.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
Yep, her.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
He pushes up his cap.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
She found my gun. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, pig.
Titus gives him a beer salute and turns to you.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do.
I mean, they already know I've lost my gun. But nope, she didn't have anything of mine.
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
Titus chugs his beer down and wipes his mouth.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
He's still thinking about it over in the corner.
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
The tattooed man scratches his head with his knuckles.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with?
What's her name? Her real name?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
He takes off his cap and scratches his head.
Marianne, amigo.
He says, pouring himself another drink. Marianne LaPlante.
Be anything else you wanted to know?
The big guy nods, drinking his toast. Who was she?
Was. Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then.
He swirls his beer.
She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off. But still.
I kind of feel bad for her.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Yeah. How did she get like this?
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
He furrows his brow in thought.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig?
Someone who wanted to set the world right before it ends. Ever think of that?
No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
He blinks.
Yeah, cop. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird.
The big man shrugs.
Whatever gets you through the day.
Where'd she get all her cop gear?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Titus says, shrugging.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people.
Yep.
It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river.
Oh, so that's what happened. Thanks for helping us out with this one, Titus.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Eugene raises his glass in toast. I'm gonna take off now. What's this? Oh!
The Insulindian miracle.
Okay.
It's easy. You know the poem by heart because you were taught it at school. It is one of the
Actually amazing
mantras repeated on the voyage that lead to the discovery of the Insulindian Isola. And the words mean nothing will be changed about the light. Colors like gray and brown, all printed on top of each other. I found a blank white spot. All the others looked up. What a beautiful day. What beautiful weather. But all I heard was the printing machine. What strange words to celebrate a new world.
indeed, but all I care about right now is that all white checks just got unlocked. Every single one. This is basically my one chance. My one chance to open that damn icebox. I'm actually so excited about that. Oh, it paid off. Randomly forgetting my thoughts.
This orange machine is
It's still
dead
locked.
still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Why is it still locked? I thought it was unchecked. I thought it said all white things were, all white checks were unlocked. This does not do anything for me. What happens? So in the end, I'm just going to try spamming my way through this dialogue again, and then hopefully reigniting the thought or refinishing the thought will reset the check properly. So here's hoping for the best.
The Copper-nado is back.
The Insulindian miracle.
Moment of truth. Just hit accept and let's go take a look. I don't even want to pull up the tooltip anymore. Just go for it and hope the check actually went through this time. For the love of a deity somewhere, please.
This orange machine
It
is
did.
dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Go for it.
Ice groans
Oh.
and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalzon
Oh.
multi-tool until the lid cracks open.
Finally. Good God, this thing has been stressing me out so much. Like, you have no idea. This check right here was stressing me out so much about this game.
Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker.
What? No ice cream?
A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
The lieutenant agrees. Someone's stomach grumbles. The room feels very cold. Take the filament memory.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
That's fair.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs.
Huh. I am curious, but am I curious enough to potentially ruin it? No. I think I should run it back as soon as possible. Let's do it. Here we are. Suna, I finally completed the task. Don't ask me how long it took me. And how much anxiety was, involved in it.
Yes, what is it?
About the offsite copy.
Yes?
I brought you the filament.
Thanks. Looks like it's the one.
She takes the filament, inspecting the metallic tape on its side. What's going to happen now?
Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
She's already inserted the filament into the radio computer's core, ready to close the door.
Wait, no. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
Wait, why? Wait, don't put it in yet. It might be dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. Just depressing.
She starts laughing, but stops almost immediately, her voice oddly humorless. How do you know?
I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment.
She says this as the filament clicks into place.
Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
She says and presses print on the machine's
The
keyboard.
paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out. This is wrong. Machines shouldn't behave like that.
Play it cool. Now what?
Sona doesn't reply. Her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it.
She suddenly says, rising her ink-stained fingertip. Where? Lean closer.
Hold on.
She's behind the keyboard now, typing in some numbers that only she understands. The terminal beeps and the light inside starts pulsing like a glowing heart. Can I do anything?
Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
She clocks up her typing speed.
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
The lieutenant leans closer to whisper.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
There's joy in her voice as she pumps her fist into the air. You did it? You found the
I
coordinates?
found the coordinates.
She lets out a celebratory laugh.
She's beaming. You can feel it in your heart. Great job.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Thank you.
She yells back with a grin. So where is it? Where's your 2mm hole in the world?
There. In the swallow.
She points at the other end of the church where a group of water bowls forms a ritualistic arc.
Think you can help me again?
She tilts her head, eyes sparkling. Sure.
I need you to go move those water bowls for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals. Solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Right, I'll go figure it out. I'm good at intellectual puzzles.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that.
She shakes her head, grinning, and then she pats the mainframe.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
Sounds good.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it. Yes, but you like moving things around. Moving things around is calming.
What, you don't trust my intellectual capabilities to solve this problem on my own?
Come on. It's not about your brain. Even I couldn't figure it out on my own.
She frowns.
Can you please just go and move the water bowls for me? Thanks.
Yeah, I'll do it. Let's go. Now, which ones did you want? The third one. Which one's the third one? Also, what is...
Measurements have been
Oops.
marked down around the bowls. Each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside of these walls. The water inside the bowl stands still.
Oh boy, this is going to be good.
Don't do that now. I just noticed there's some stuff in the corner that I never picked up before. Meskbanger silk scarf. +1 pain threshold. Alright, well, nice to have, I guess. Alright, what was I doing?
It's awfully silent. Measurements, oh boy.
Alright.
This is going to be good.
Move the third bowl from the left 2 centimeters away.
It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult
Ow.
to your mental skills.
Move the fourth bowl from the left 5 centimeters to the right.
Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Fair enough. We can walk back, it's okay.
Yes, what is it?
I have moved the bowls. It was mind-numbingly easy. What's next?
Great. Everything should be aligned now.
She stops, biting into her chapped lip.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
What's wrong?
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones.
She snaps out of the lull.
If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Wait, why did you have your headphones on mute in the first place?
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
I don't blame you. This is a hole in the world into the pale. She's avoiding your gaze. Isn't it going to be just silence and nothing else?
I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything.
She stares at the heart of her computer.
I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
She turns to face you, the mainframe throwing shadows on her chin.
What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
She grows silent, her face very pale in the cold light of electricity. What?
I don't know. I'm just scared. Maybe it's going to be something terrifying. Maybe it's going to tear the world apart.
Hopefully not.
Like that evil ink that filled the printout, erasing coherence and meaning.
You're right. We should be cautious. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just tired.
She rubs her face.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
It's scary, but we just have to face it.
Yeah. You're right. Let's do it.
She puts on her oversized headphones, ready to press unmute on the keyboard.
The lieutenant takes a step back.
Even he's scared.
And then, nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence.
Okay.
You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary.
Say nothing.
She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Damn
Well,
it.
she lets out a loud sigh before tearing off her headphones. She's still avoiding your gaze. Well, at least the world seems to still be alright. Come on, did you hear anything?
No, of course not. Nothing happened. Let's move on.
She says, clearly disappointed.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
What do you mean nothing happened? Did you find the swallow?
No,
She rests her face on her hands, massaging the forehead.
no. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is.
She raises her head, staring at all the machines that litter the church, cables coiling up on the floor like pests.
You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Oh! 97% chance. Perception. This is my top skill. Kol Domama Dakwa. I helped Egg Jam. I helped Egghead with his jam, and I found a melody for him. Put on the headphones.
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes.
What does it mean?
It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Stuna, take off the headphones. What if we just need a better sound system?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
We can get one from the ravers outside.
Suddenly, a rhythmic
Yep.
beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
Murmurs the lieutenant, inspecting the damage done to the arabesques.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Yes, but they could help with the speakers.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would if you wouldn't mind them moving in with you.
I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Great, I'll go talk to them then.
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
She lingers for a moment before adding that statement. Have you seen anyone suspicious, say a woman named Ruby?
What? No. No one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Hey, about that 2mm hole
The
again.
swallow, you mean? Great.
Nothing. Alright, let's talk to the kids. Autosave? What for? Also, why am I stuck walking? I thought I was able to run earlier. Let's go, kids. We've got some negotiating to do. Yo,
Hi again. So, how are things going?
I'm here to talk about the church again.
What's the deal?
Good news! I managed to convince Suna. She's okay with you guys moving in on one condition. She needs your speakers for your project.
We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music.
The Speed Freak smiles, happier than he's ever been before. You're going to have to share space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research finished.
That's fine. We can manage.
He grins, excited.
And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right?
Oh, you mean the illegal drug lab? There will be no shady shenanigans in the church, only love and anodic dance music.
Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
He seems disappointed, and then waves to the other Speed Freaks. Leave the tent. Oh, I guess they've disassembled. I guess they're inside now? Wonderful. I'm looking forward to this. I'm quite excited. Let's see. Ha! Oh, and now the music is playing. Wonderful, okay. Who do I even talk to here? Hey, let's chat.
Yes, what is it?
She doesn't look up from her keyboard. How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is anodic dance music.
What? What did you say?
She leans closer, eyes knitted together in a puzzled expression. You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of anodic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
She shouts, pointing at the enormous speaker that's churning out the sound. The project! How's it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Her face lights up for a second before she gives you an exaggerated head shake. Why?
There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
He points at Egghead, who's raving behind his turntables on a brightly lit stage. Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekukata! A place to be, apparently!
Fair enough, that's right. I'll speak to him, see what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
She does jazz hands to mock him.
Let me know how it goes!
Will do. Now that the Ravers are settled in, can you help me contact Coalition Warship Archer?
It's true. The drug fiends have made themselves quite comfortable. But I still have a great deal of work to do.
Fair
This
enough.
project is immensely important to her. She's not going to help you until it's finished.
If
Fine.
you're desperate for collaborators now, I suggest you ask your new friends. They seem to have plenty of time for side projects.
Alright, I'll let you work in peace. Egghead, let's talk.
Denarian Church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man, blasting a familiar song. It's so good, the song.
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side, you see an auxiliary line in with the number 4.5 written next to it.
I thought about the discarded melody and came to the conclusion that Van Eyck has lived around here.
J'adore! God is close by, but maybe he doesn't have good enough ears. Let me turn it up so we can lure him here.
He turns a knob on his mixer. How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case, no disgrace. Bring it down to party place.
He pumps his fist in the
The
air.
first page of the second chapter.
His voice echoes all around the grand hall.
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
I think that's actually referring to the game itself, because it does feel like we're approaching the end. Egg, can you please route Suna's signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary. What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
He gets serious. It's 3.5, no doubt about it. It's on the ground. Point to it.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary line-in is 4.5mm. These two don't mix.
An uncomfortable pause
Oh
follows.
no, we're going to be in this church forever.
The lieutenant closes his eyes.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking at the jack.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line-in. You hear a satisfying click.
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
True.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music.
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on-off for just a sec. For a special scheduled event.
The young man shouts as he clicks a switch on the mixer.
The on-off will be back! But we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music.
Sounds good. Muna, let's do this. Oh, sorry, not Muna. Suna, let's do this.
Yes, what is it?
She doesn't look up from the keyboard. Alright, I talked to Egghead. He's plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
She seems hesitant, her eyes still fixed on Egghead.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
She turns to face you, ready to give up. I think what Egghead is trying to say is... I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum. Also, why do you want to turn down the volume? Because she doesn't want to potentially blow us all up?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
She turns to Egghead.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
Okay, I think what he's saying is that it's stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
All ready.
Says Andre.
Ready.
Yells Noid.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
Alright, let's do this.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Not so stoically. His hand moves to the gun holster.
He's nervous.
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large. Somehow. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
Hold on for a moment.
What?
Never mind, let's do this. I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
You disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside. No waves. No floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate.
Oh dear. I love how everyone has different animations for being freaked out by this. Especially Kim. He's got his hand on his pistol in his jacket. That's really cool.
It's out there now. In the world. Made manifest. It will devour everything. Floorboards. The glass. the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle, like crystal clattering in the cupboard, fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder,
Says Noid, his eyes riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, and then something else, but his voice is growing faint.
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
Hey, what's that weird rattling sound?
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks like she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up. A screech fills the air, a scream of wooden nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you.
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to earth! Love!
It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. Wait, I want to dance with someone. Start tapping my foot. Why? Okay, let's do it.
Oh! I want to feel the heat with somebody!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
The woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard, but the sound doesn't stop.
Yes! I've turned it off!
She yells, holding the contact mic in her hand.
Andre, pull the compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up! The signal's passed! It's not in here! It's...
Andre frantically smashes buttons.
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead, it's in the desk.
And then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
He says this calmly.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
Andre breathes a sigh of relief and inspects the window.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Her lip trembles.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself and wipes the dust off her sweater and rests her hand on the keyboard.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
He turns to the woman.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like that.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Sulislaw?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters,
okay.
maybe meet Sulispov. Also devise further measurements.
She cuts you off, her deft fingers already on the keyboard.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
She blurts this out and then reconsiders.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yeah, her hands move on the keyboard.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
He breathes out, trying to shake off the tension.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
92%. Logic. I'll let you work in peace. Let me boost my logic a little bit, because 92 is not 97. I'm just so glad the music is back. So good. I'll put that on for now. Alright.
What is it?
97%. I've heard of the Doom commercial area, I've investigated the Doom's commercial area, I've heard of the Motorway South, and I finished the Motorway South. So let's do it. Form a theory on the 2mm hole in the world.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
What? Wait, how?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend, and a woman. She was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo as she was smoking.
Una, it is the origin point of the Pale. You mean like the beginning of it all? Why would it be here?
What?
The Swallow, it's how it starts. It's Baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
Oh, okay, I see. This is just him figuring out what I deduced like a while ago. Okay. She looks up and there's fear in her eyes as she considers the possibility.
That comforts her.
No, look up first. We are 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you.
The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
I don't know.
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this, spread your hands, never was.
Then the Pale is...
simply a gradient?
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
She closes her eyes. Nod. This is one of those places. That's horrifying.
According to this, how long...
She's silent for a second, and then she opens her mouth. Until it starts swallowing, it's already started. Starting with sound. Okay, this is actually leaping a lot further than I was thinking with my theory. My theory was just, oh, it's opening up to like this concept of the Pale, because they told me it was, you know, a vast lot of nothing. But now I'm like, wait, this is going to grow from this point? I thought it was more like we were looking at a specific point, like a telescope. Not that it's like a cancer and growing here in this moment. Uh-oh.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's born in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM...
He explains.
Knows how to think this.
It didn't form in a church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus. Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers.
I have chills right now. This is mind-bending. Okay. She looks for words. Yes, acting on an instinctual level. Or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement.
Uh-oh. So there might be 6 other ones that have expanded.
Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area, all the failure in Martinez. I don't know if that is related.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even, say, software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
Yeah, I mean, people fail on their own. But let's link it anyway. Even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, a kind of anthroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building. With amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
He shakes her head. I should let the people still working in there know about this. They might be affected.
You mean Plaisance and the dice maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
No, just the dice maker. I don't think Plaisance would survive this knowledge. I think they both deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
She smiles, suddenly encouraging. I think I had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthroponetic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
One day, all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
The club is the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthroponetic detection to perform in this district.
Now that your project is finished, can you help me contact Coalition Warship Archer?
You're asking me to circuit bend onto Coalition radio frequencies. You want to know, is it possible? Probably. But is it a good idea? I'm not so sure.
She looks up from her monitor.
The main difficulty will be finding an antenna powerful enough to reach those frequencies. Unfortunately, you can't exactly buy mega long-wave antennas off the shelf.
She's not joking. Even the RCM has to receive special approval from the Coalition to access that kind of equipment.
The radio relay tower at Land's End. Could that work?
I highly doubt it. That tower is barely able to transmit shortwave signals across the bay. To generate megalo frequencies, we're going to need a much larger antenna.
She has an idea, though. You can see the tiny signal lights firing inside her brain.
I don't see any alternative. We're just going to have to build the antenna ourselves.
Wait, we can just build an antenna?
Yes, from a technical view. It's not even difficult. The difficult part will be finding the right location. We need metal, a lot of it. The taller the structure, the better. Something that is both prominent and easily accessible. If it's near a power source, even better.
Conceptualization. I'll have to come back to this. Any information? Any additional talk?
That's a deal! Yeah! medium car!
He waves his hand in the air. The words echo magnificently throughout the nave. Whoa, that was a crazy sound we heard before.
Yeah! It was awesome and scary. Very hardcore.
His voice booms through the chamber, then gets silent.
Too hardcore, in fact. I couldn't control it at all.
He brushes his hand through his hair. Are you telling me he's supposed to have hair? I thought the whole point was he was supposed to be... I mean, yes, he's had hair on the model, but like in the art, he looks bald. I thought that was why they were calling him Egghead.
It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. Starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme!
Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse.
What if this is the answer to Van Eyck's jam? We could use the sound for the bass.
Oh! But how?
His puzzled face turns into a wicked grin.
What do we have around here to achieve some sort of parallel processing?
Look at all this interfacing that's required. Okay, bye. Do I even have interfacing stuff? I have interfacing gloves. I don't know if there's anything else I have that would give me more interfacing. Shivers, composure. I honestly don't think there's anything else that would give me more interfacing. Reaction speed, but no. Well, this is not gonna go well.
That's a deal! Yeah! Medium car!
If I fail this, am I going to be screwed? No, I can still do it. Oh, the audio onslaught can be tamed. Connect the dots.
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background, never ending. You can't grasp what's missing, but you can try to make something up anyway.
Whereof one cannot speak, one ought to remain silent.
The young man bobs his head to the music, much as before.
Interfacing! Oops.
That's a deal!
42%!
Sidechain.
Oh, yes! We finally get one. We finally get the guaranteed critical success. Sidechain the beat. What does that even mean?
Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
I have no idea what you just said, but sure, let's go with that. Okay, Egg, you need to start sidechaining it. Explain the concept to him.
Sidechaining it, you said?
He turns down the music, his hands moving deftly across the mixer, setting up the necessary controls.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide. Wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down, with bliss, in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
Asil looks up from her microphone. I'm not sure.
Are you ready, pussy?
My goodness, if... I feel like we're about to get an even better version of that song.
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
Do it.
I was born ready, Egg.
Give him a thumbs up. Oh. Oh, damn.
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
What in the world is going on?
Asil looks
the way
up.
melody and bass flow together. It's unnatural.
Asil looks on, amazed at the display. This one is for the Anodic generation.
Producing the ultimate sound!
We have tamed the sound, made it our own.
God damn it! This dance club idea might just work out.
You hear Andre say to himself over the thumping beat.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
Eggs losing himself in the sound.
Who will be the innocence of hardcore anodic dance music?
Good question. You have any comments on this music?
Yes, what is it?
Not right now. Hey, it's been a while.
In, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
He looks around the hall, examining the carpentry.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
He spreads his arms, looking around at the speed freaks setting up shop.
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass. Sire, the tent. 'Twas a security risk. And in here, sanctuary. 'Twas only noble of you.
These kids got spunk. I admire that.
Okay.
The lieutenant keeps it laconic.
What he means is, you can't possibly have handed them this real estate for such a flimsy reason. Then again, whatever keeps your nose out of the bottle and on the job.
Noid, what do you think about the church?
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more.
How old do you think this church is? Over 300 years?
That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it. On the coast here was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something. I understand.
Yeah, they were scared of the holes in reality.
Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. You see, perhaps something more fundamental.
He means something paranatural. He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well.
His voice echoes in the wooden cavern of the church. Something more fundamental? You mean the sound anomaly?
Maybe. Maybe they were unable to face the nature of the world, perishing.
He looks up under the rafters. What style is this church built in?
A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism, lawmongerer. It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture.
Taps the floorboard. You're very well versed in all this stuff, actually. I'm surprised. Okay, and what is DeLorean architecture like? You're big on history, aren't you?
Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out?
What would a DeLorean building look like?
Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical.
He nods towards the stained glass window.
Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Marriage shit. Virtue and tyranny.
Hey, marriage is great. Marriage is sacred.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
He inspects a pillar nearby with a sharp gaze. This church isn't painted white as far as I can tell.
Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside.
That's fair, yep.
Before the sea wind took all the paint off.
He peeks out of a small window in the dark.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss.
What did you mean by dead bodies?
Dead bodies of perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total.
Taps on the wood. Spiritual collapse?
I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, Cop Man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away.
He continues without waiting for an answer.
They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it.
He kicks the floorboard. First, where's that quote from?
A Sarais man who lived a long time ago. An ancient, hardcore brother.
What you're saying is that you're not a big fan of the inocentric system?
A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals.
He looks around.
It's false core.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
But you guys said that the Ecclesiastes were all about love and hardcore before, remember?
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you.
He points to his friends.
Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are.
I even agreed with you about the Ecclesiastes being okay with this.
But were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything. Look around.
He spreads his arms.
We don't have enough love for the human crew to oppose anything anymore. We're on our own.
That's still a lie. Reassert yourself.
That wouldn't be cool. I want to be cool.
Mewling whim. Pathetic.
And you propose this dance music will supplant the system?
Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
How do you like the glasswork? Point to the stained glass window.
I don't. Fuck her giving me the evil eye.
He looks over his shoulder. I'm getting some real negative vibrations from her too.
No wonder. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
He cracks his neck.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Yells his friend.
Mass murder on the floor.
Would you say she was, human?
I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator.
The young man stretches his rib cage made of suspenders.
That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that.
Yeah, they hate this too. Point to myself.
Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us.
The young man lets go of the suspenders and they hit his chest with a slap. I do feel there's something terrifying about her.
There is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here.
No, that's not it. It's something more. Something closer to your skin.
Say nothing, stare grimly into the distance.
The speed freak looks the same way. It is dark there, in the back of the church. For a moment, the music echoes strangely.
Isn't she supposed to be an embodiment of the world spirit?
The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit.
He raises his left hand.
This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief, if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are.
But she's the innocence of humanism. Humanism seems to be a pretty big deal around here.
Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know?
Interesting, okay. Yeah, but like, who isn't accused of being a mass murderer these days?
No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer.
True.
The Anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. He is not accused of mass murder. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder.
He nods up.
Just not her.
He's not wrong. But she's pretty, her.
She invented the beauty you're feeling. Seeing her glass cutters and iconographers. You set the standard, alright.
He turns to look up at her face.
Then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft of core. That so-called beauty of hers.
It's anything but softcore. It's terrifying.
You may be onto something, Copper Man. She's got those mass-murdering hips.
The young man nods and he looks worried. I'm not okay with resettlement programs. Yeah, I'm done talking about her. I don't want to think about her anymore.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic. Overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy.
Ow!
What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about it, please.
Let's talk about the glasswork again. I've been thinking about her.
The mass murderer? Why?
Alright, I'm done talking about her.
Okay.
How are you settling in?
Hard to say, Cop Man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the Crabman, though.
You mean Tiago?
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
You mean all of his mother's love stuff isn't too spooky for you?
Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff. And he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him.
What did Tiago tell you about the church?
The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus for the hole in the pail. Got it. Hole in reality, sorry. Do you mean there are other dead bodies here?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
What's it for? We know what it's for.
Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isola. I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs.
He looks up into the darkness beyond the beams. Yeah, that's what made me think of the pail in the first place, the way Tiago was describing it. But again, I didn't think about it as like a growing threat type of deal, you know?
Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it, to contain it.
I don't know why, like, all the other stuff in the game so far has been pretty reactive, and you can bring up the fact that you've learned some information, but here, we've learned that it's the whole in reality, and I can't bring it up for some reason. I don't get it. Contain what exactly?
I don't know, and it's not something they properly understood either, what it does, but it's what this Sona person is looking for, and trying to measure.
He nods towards the woman.
It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
What makes you think Suna's going to fail?
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it?
Oh, true.
You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance.
I found a doomed commercial area in Martinez proper. Maybe it's the same thing the Ubies were trying to contain?
Like a concentric ring spreading out. The
oh yes.
struggling villages.
The young man rubs his chin in silence and then mumbles. You're right. It is like a concentric ring.
And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here.
You think there's any merit to the theory?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, Cop Man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited psi person.
Oops. Well, if it's without substance, I guess there's nothing to worry about.
Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well.
I want to talk some more about this place.
Dead body.
Nope.
Sure.
Why are you so suspicious about everything?
Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting
Paranoid.
out this whole enterprise to get our signs synced.
Paranoid. Got it. Why are you called Noid anyway?
It's short for paranoid.
Yep, figured it out. May I ask why? What good is being suspicious?
A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. Exercise caution. Caution is suspicion.
What are you suspicious of?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
You probably like math as well.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
And what are the most suspicious things?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
Don't you mean the left-right paradigm and the pig-wheat complex?
No. Politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad.
Okay, does this mean you're mentally ill?
Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill. A suspicious element.
Tell me more about the left-right business.
I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong question. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray. Far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
What's bad about cereal grain? Having enough food could be a precursor for greater things.
Yes, having food is means to an end. But the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry. It's our only shit.
What's so bad about animals? Animals are cute.
Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
Well, that was certainly stimulating. I would like to ask about something else now.
His eyes flicker.
You mentioned true life. What would that be like?
The life is true if it's free from fear. An internal division among oneself. And others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
And how would you go about returning to this true life?
Feet and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity. Appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Sort of like fascism, then.
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
But shouldn't the ones that are more hardcore rule over the ones that are less hardcore, offer them guidance?
If some want to lead and others want to be led, I think they are welcome to it.
So you're advocating a noise-based society.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion.
You keep mentioning hardcore. What does it mean to you?
Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Thanks, Encyclopedia.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
His friend shouts from behind his mix table with a smile surpassing your own in wideness, a total moon face, and eyes full of naive wonderment. The term hardcore also denotes a strain of pornography that depicts penetration. Did you know that?
That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah!
Let's change the subject.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Oof. That's more conceptualization. What's with the clothes?
They're hardcore.
That's not nice to say. That's it?
They're just clothes.
I thought there would be more to it.
It's just a style, you know. Normal hard style. Anyone can wear it.
Fair enough. Take care, Noid. What have I got for conceptualization? This one. Anything else? That's the double up for conceptualization already. I'm gonna take this down here so I don't forget about it. Anything else? Nope. Drama, blah blah blah. Alright, let's give it a shot.
Why does art inspire you so much?
No. It does, yes, but what is art?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
Hold on, is architecture also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
Wait, what about music? Is it art?
Only the most experimental kind.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished and all that?
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home.
Okay. If 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from rote repetition, so be it.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Alright.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Conceptualization. Internalize a hardcore aesthetic. Don't just nod along, really feel it. I've hardened up the ledger, caught the key, analyzed the beat, and Pericarnassianism is love. 72%.
Aggressive.
Ow.
Monotonous. But also somehow sacral. Primitive.
Let's do that other conceptualization thing.
Yes, what is it?
58%.
Close your eyes. Unfold your mental map of Martinez. It's morning. You're standing on the plaza before the whirling in rags.
Turn to face the bay.
Your eye follows the tiles west. You see a bench and a few twisted, pitiful trees. Then, just water.
Turn to face the apartments.
Beyond the unkempt backyard rises a monstrous assemblage of concrete, plaster, and corrugated sheet metal.
Turn to face a roundabout.
You turn around. The morning sun is blinding. You bring your hand to your brow, and a great shadow materializes before you. A towering beast, frozen in mid-air.
The statue of Philippe III.
The dead king and his horse. It could work.
It may work, you think, but why do you feel like there may be a terrible cost?
We'll need an adequate power supply and a great quantity of cable. If we connect the cables to some of the stranded lorries, we could theoretically increase the antenna's wavelength exponentially.
Whatever ambivalence she had about your project before, she's now fully engaged in solving this technical puzzle.
So you're saying...
Quiet. I'm doing maths. Yes, assuming we can find just a few pieces of equipment. It's completely ridiculous, but I believe we could transform the entire roundabout into one solid fractal antenna.
A note of awe in her voice. She's shocked and pleased by her own audacity.
About time, those other antennas were cramping my style.
Your sense of style isn't my concern. I'm only here to tell you what's feasible or not from a technical viewpoint. I have plenty of cables and amplifiers on hand. The power supply, I will secure on my own. All we require now is the radio transceiver itself.
Where am I supposed to find a radio transceiver? Isn't there one in the, in Ruby's lorry? That special one? I don't know if that counts, though.
I cannot answer that for you, but I don't expect it to be that difficult. There's no shortage of radios around here. If you have real to spare, you might even be able to buy one. But it doesn't really matter where it comes from, so long as it works.
And before you ask, no, you can't have the radio from my kinema.
I think I saw a radio in that office near the harbor.
That sounds like a perfectly adequate radio.
She nods. Do radio computers have transceivers in them?
Certainly, though it requires a fair amount of technical finesse to remove them. Frankly, it's not worth the bother. Just find a regular radio.
Can't we just use your REM prefect?
Absolutely not. My REM prefect is my livelihood. If something were to go wrong, it would be a disaster.
You know what, Kim? I'll find an even better radio on my own.
I highly doubt that. When I crank the volume on my dyno wave, it's like you're in the front row at the National Concert Hall.
He's so proud of his car. Alright, Kim, challenge accepted.
There is no need to go out of your way to find a top-shelf radio for this purpose. As long as it's functional, that is what counts.
Do you think the pawn shop will have one?
Possibly. It's worth a look at the least.
Alright, I guess I need to find one of those transceivers then.
In the meantime, I will gather the rest of the materials. We will meet back here when you have it.
Alright, see you later. Let's boost that conceptualization again. Yes. Do I have any more points? I have one more point. Okay, I'll bank it.
Yo, man. What's on
83.
your mind?
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. This is for your posse. They got to keep it up. They got to move. You are the major mic enforcer. Jumping around, as this sort of music requires, is actually a taxing physical activity and should be dignified with a sports suit.
Sure, I'm just gonna go with number one. No. Yeah, sure. I'm thinking of wearing sports apparel as my hardcore getup to maximize the mobility of limbs.
You might as well make it complete with a whistle then.
Hardcore aesthetic. I don't know what these do. And I'm out of points to reapply these right now. But these are more end game ones that I kind of want. I've basically unlocked everything then, almost. Yeah, almost everything that I can. So, actual art degree. Can't even look at this shit. Hardcore aesthetic. Cleaning out the rooms. This is all potentially good. I'm gonna have to leave it for now though, because I only have the 1 point. Take care, Noid. A cell? Let's change back to my regular clothing. I'll put that on too. Nice. How bad are my stats? Electro is 3, physical 5, endurance 3. It's all pretty bad, honestly. Okay. KSL, it's been a bit.
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic attached to a wooden pulpit. At the sound of your footsteps, she stops what she was doing and turns to you.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like, underwater inside a tree.
He gives you a shy smile.
And yes, I'm being more like Contact Mike, alright? Don't even bring it up.
But Contact Mike is...
No. I actually wanted to thank you for getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are.
He cuts you off before you can finish the sentence. How's everyone doing?
Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Sauna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much, and the crabman hasn't shown himself, thank God.
Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Considering what we're trying to do here, this doesn't look like a good sign.
Superstition. We can turn the grim desolation into a fun dance club, and thus also help turn this hellhole around.
Fair. Now, can you tell me about your associates?
Sure. You helped us out.
Nice.
I can repay the favour. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Suna.
Ah, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today, she told me about Welkins. And she seemed oddly happy, like
nerd
she had
stuff.
Some idea
Got it.
With those little creatures, some artistic idea. I didn't really listen. I was busy with my mic.
Asil grimaces as if it's the first time hearing the word. What about Tiago?
Oh, the crab man.
She shudders.
Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, just climbs around the rafters. I just try to stay away from the crab man. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on.
Oh, he talks to Noid. What for?
Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess.
What does he do up there?
Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do, yell up at the tower?
Yeah, and then you yell up there and the sound disappears anyway. Thanks, about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Andre.
Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least.
She rubs her sides, but not from cold. Her shoulders are relaxed. She must have taken a hit, or she's on an upswing.
He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organiser.
What has he organized?
Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organise around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know.
On life?
Yes. Anyway.
Is Andre your boyfriend?
Yes.
Ah. She nods. Could it be that he's balding? Him thinking it's his last chance?
Come to think of it, yes.
She laughs.
This is the first time you've heard her laugh.
True.
He's in some kind of a self-destruction mode with that hair of his. Bleaching it like that. Probably wants to get rid of it altogether.
Tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Noid.
He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forburg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle.
What does he do?
What do you mean do? Like for a living?
Yes.
He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just doesn't have the mindset to work like that. In a shop somewhere.
That's because Noid is violently hardcore. I have internalized it. I understand why he doesn't stoop to servitude. Do you?
Wow, you really have talked to him. Indeed, Noid serves no master but the beat.
She smiles. And you?
Sir, I abide by the law.
She gives you a switchblade smile.
A strange feeling. Every now and then, something feels off about the way she speaks. She doesn't change tone, but you feel as though there's more about her than she lets on.
What is this pilgrimage you're talking about?
It's just something poor Forburg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock. Or as much as possible.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering.
Let's say I haven't been down Boogie Street.
Okay. Then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people.
I might just do that if I make it there alive.
Yeah. I hope you do.
She says that and adds this statement. Actually, tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
What's the deal with Egghead?
What do you mean?
What does he think he's doing when he yells all that stuff?
Oh, that. He's the party boy.
He told me as much, but what exactly is a party boy?
And Nordic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offence if you like rock music though. Rock music's cool by me.
Pachoo, swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
No offense taken, go on.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy.
He's the DJ, got it.
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... Anyway.
He looks around a little embarrassed of the enthusiasm of his interjection. Where's he from? How long has he been with you guys?
Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is, really.
Oh.
One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forburg. Or maybe even Coal City. I can't remember. Maybe it was Coal City.
The worst of the banlieues. A wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even wants to exploit those people anymore.
Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines. There were mines? Yeah, it was in Coal City.
She nods.
Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
She says quietly.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment or two. You wish you'd been there.
Tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Actually, tell me about yourself.
Me? Again?
Yes, I forgot. Tell me about yourself.
I told you, I'm a silver bird.
There's that phrase again. Really reminds you of something.
What does that mean?
It means I don't answer questions about myself.
There's more to you than you let on. What am I not seeing?
All right.
She picks up the tape recorder and looks you in the eye.
There is.
Okay, but I'm a police officer. You have to answer me.
Is there a law that would stop me from lying, though?
That would depend on the circumstances.
The lieutenant taps his foot. Fair enough.
Thank you. Sure.
Ooh. Reaction speed to catch the silver bird. I'll be right back. Let me get my bum hat on. This will make me much faster. It's aerodynamically sound, clearly. Okay, do I have anything else that boosts it? I thought my reaction speed was pretty good. -1. Oops. Do I have nothing else that gives reaction speed? Is it really just the bum hat? Oof. Bum hat only run.
Welcome back.
Dress code, avian investigator. Catch the silver bird!
The silver bird has already flown away. I will catch it later.
Alright. Reaction speed. There goes my last point.
Welcome back.
Catch it!
O pasaro de agent. It flutters by your ear. It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term.
Oh, passare d'argent.
Excuse me?
She casually brushes her hand through her hair.
She's attempting to remain calm, but the phrase made her flinch.
I remember now. It's a Zemliaki term for someone who won't break under questioning. An organized crime term.
What do you mean?
The silver bird.
Alright. My father was a Zemyaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him and what he did.
She concedes.
He bought the family a huge house, so we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. And then he died.
What happened next?
What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like in a war zone.
She's gritting her teeth.
So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name, mine too. We left it all behind.
Are you sure about that? What about this drug lab plan?
It was a stupid idea, and I'm still disappointed I came up with it.
Oh, you came up with this?
Aren't there any local authorities who might look down on such activities?
I took that into account, of course. Coordinated the operation with the débardeurs, else they might get unhappy.
Wait, so what you're saying is that Evrart authorized this?
Not in person, but I let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too difficult to convince them, really. It's a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt I was turning Dadwise into a corrupt business person. Unpleasant.
Hear that? Set justice on its feet. Confront Everard.
Will do.
Come on, this is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everard now. That's not how these things work.
We should confront Evrart about this. Maybe we can manipulate him using the information. Add it to the list.
No, I don't think it would lead anywhere with Evrard. He's just going to deny it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Evrart?
Yes, I have. That's it for now. Well, that was fascinating. I really don't appreciate the fact that I'm pretty screwed as far as level ups go. I definitely feel like I'm nearing the end of the game, and I'm a little concerned that like some of these stats are still quite low. Like my Shivers is only a 2. Maybe I should consider boosting Shivers by a little bit, so at least my lowest stat will all be 3. That's more of a future thing once I get another point. Alright, I've left the leader, quotations, the leader for last. Let's talk.
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
He waves his hand in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore manner.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner that's churning out the sound.
Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
Well, what do you propose as the name, Andre?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
He appears to mull it over, one hand idly touching his hair.
Andre's overthinking it,
says the girl with the microphone.
Yes, you should do it, detective.
The speed freak with yellow
good
beads.
for the signs.
The speed freak with the yellow beads around his neck is looking at you.
Lloyd's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
Asil, what do you suggest as the name?
How about something simple, like the club?
Bit too easy.
Too modern. And too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Andre shakes a spiky head. Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas.
Yakukata!
Huh.
Yakukata! The place to be!
Honestly, that's not bad. The freak with the large head yells from the stage, waving his hand in the air.
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe.
Never mind.
That's too morbid, eh? Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the nigger!
A witless, victorious smile adorns his face.
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Andre looks worried as he comes to this realization. Noid, give me your 2 cents.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia!
It's not amnesia, guys.
Stuna, what's your opinion on this?
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
Tiago, give me your thoughts. Kim, how would you name the club?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I believe it.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
I think I've come up with a name.
You have? Well, what's the name?
You can't not choose this once it's an option. Disco Elysium.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
He looks unsure.
The past is the future, but the future is dead!
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Oh man. A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it a violet blue.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience.
Sure. Start tapping your foot.
It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
Observe his movement. What are you doing, Andre?
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kinda lame.
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing.
Yes, my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his moves punctuated by the stroboscopic flash of the club lights.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves?
Oh, it's a white check. Savoir faire. I've been meaning to ask you, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Or is it because you're balding?
Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me.
Fair.
I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20.
How old are you, Andre?
Not 20.
Fair enough. Is it important to you to be an individual?
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes.
Commendable. Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway.
Wow, this is a very tough check. I have so many pluses for this. So, aesthetic of hypnotic music, higher quality audio, dance fever incoming, found the melody, found the beat. Still only 28%.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen? Salvation.
All right.
Bye, officer.
It occurs to me that I should have put on my actual savoir-faire equipment before trying to check, because now I have to waste a skill point to unlock it. Oh well, it is what it is. Give me my savoir-faire. I know I definitely have some here. I'll find it eventually. It's a minus savoir-faire. Oh. Oh, there's a plus. Alright, well, apparently that was the only one.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Alright, we'll boost it. Oops.
Goodbye, officer.
How much more do I need to level up? Quite a bit. I'm in trouble. Let's go.
Hey, man. It's good to see you.
Go.
You close your eyes
Nice.
and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder, where did that little fluttering light go?
Total darkness. You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep, vertebrate by vertebrate, through the unformed skulls of your mind.
Of your mind or your spine?
Here it will begin.
Where'd the church go?
Who fucking cares?
Good.
No, not good. Orgasmic.
Where did the music go?
Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone.
No, really, why can't I hear anything?
This is a pivotal moment. Try not to piss yourself.
Concentrate on hearing.
Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
It comes to you like a blue whale. You sense it stir the tranquility of the deep. A single note of bass passing through. Then it's gone. Back to El Silencio.
This is where the beat plunged. It will resurface soon. Brace for glory.
What was that about unformed skulls?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Hello, spinal cord.
Every vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little brain forming in it, waiting for its turn.
Seems legit.
To rule the world.
Oh my god, is that true?
Yes, it's all true. In the spinal cord.
What do you want?
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Bust a move.
Foolhardy. Do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000 years have passed. Or maybe you started spazzing out like 2 seconds ago.
With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics. Somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. The wounds from the war you waged on your body are healing. Twist by twist. Turn by turn.
That sounds like a good thing.
As you open your eyes, you should scream. Hyper, hyper. It seems appropriate.
Hyper, hyper.
You have become a
Wow.
flawless interlocking mechanism.
Huh.
A flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called Eggheads. Entirely, rigidly, imbecilic. Without pity or fear.
This is actually incredible. And the sword and the sword and the big power tool too. It's making it extra hardcore.
Free from self-awareness. No deliberation. Only, and I mean only, execution.
Oh my god! No way!
The Speed Freak's would-be leader stands slack-jawed in disbelief at the hardcoreness on display. He whispers to himself. Hard cop!
With is real to real. blasting the anthem of a future that will never come. The young man observes your moves for a second.
Then blasts into the same hideous pattern.
He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm.
Turn to a seal. What are you doing?
The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin, looking at you expectantly.
Asil, aren't you going to dance?
No, recording.
She turns to Suna, then back to you. She briskly shakes her head and puts her headphones back on.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to her own work. She's still at her mainframe, pressing buttons, reading printouts, but she started putting her head along to the music.
Dance! Point at Andre. It's the law.
The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion. The authority of the law is clearly unquestionable.
Kim, get in here. Call for the lieutenant to join you.
What's going on here? Delinquents.
The lieutenant looks at you and the speed freaks grinding around in the church, a group of unhinged lunatics.
This is clearly a Code 31 emergency.
Code 31! Code 31!
The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose. The lights reflect off his glasses. He's obviously having trouble adjusting to this new reality.
The Code 31 emergency? Really?
Yes! Officer in need of assistance. On the dance floor!
The lieutenant crosses his arms with a bemused look.
What's happening?
The lieutenant is forced to yell over the futuristic music blasting from the speakers. I'm undercover!
Rock on, then.
He looks around the church hall.
Somehow, you managed to hear him sigh.
Hey, I called you to dance! Oh. I did say there was an emergency on the dance floor, did I not? The emergency? Not enough, Kim.
Ah, come on, Harry.
Did that just cheer him up a bit? Could be. It feels like the lieutenant cracked a little smile there.
Authority, 97%. He respects me. If there's an emergency on the dance floor, I outrank him. And we're dancing. Don't let the lieutenant leave without putting his hardcore on.
What's harder core than a little bit of?
Of course I would roll snake eyes on this one. And that's like the worst thing I could possibly say to him.
Excuse me, what?
This would be a good time to add some nerve damage to the mix. Pull the expression too.
Absolutely not. Are you
Stop
kidding me?
immediately. Stop.
Yes, stop. I don't know what got into me. I'm so sorry.
Dance, monkey fucker.
Then a breath of cold sea air fills the church as the lieutenant opens the door and steps.
I was having a great moment and I just had the rug pulled out from under me. I need a break. Alright, well, time to catch up with Kim then, I suppose. That went really poorly. I just had the wind taken right out of my sails. I feel like that would have been a really special moment, but it's been completely ruined.
Than you were expecting. You see the lieutenant standing there, a small cloud of white escaping from his mouth. He turns to you, but says nothing. He's waiting to see what you do. For God's sake, say you fucked up. Please.
I think I screwed up back there.
You think?
Okay, scratch that. I definitely screwed up.
Yes. And?
The lieutenant stares impassively. What are you? A petulant child? He expects you to apologize.
And I'm sorry.
Let me ask you something.
He leans in to inspect you.
What do you see when you look at me?
Wow, that's rude. My half-brother.
That's what you are supposed to say, of course. But do you know what you didn't say? Revacholian. I don't suppose anyone ever questions whether you belong here. Whatever your faults, you're a solid detective. You're obviously Revacholian. I was born here. I grew up here. It's the only home I've ever known. And there's a good chance I'll die in the line of duty here, too. But to most of my countrymen, I will always be some monkey fucker.
To me, you're my partner. For a moment, the lieutenant seems to be suppressing something uncomfortable. Then he clears his throat.
The lieutenant's not comfortable with emotional openness. He's eager to change the subject.
Okay, we can still bring it back. We can still bring it back.
Well, good. Because we are partners. Now, I have some personal matters I'd like to get in order. If you don't object, I'm going to leave the rest of the day's investigation to you.
The good news is at least it's 2 a.m. Wait, I wasn't done.
Try not to break anything while I'm gone. I'll see you in the morning, detective.
Wow, he was so upset he actually left for the day. Good thing we can go completely to bed immediately. I'm gonna end this episode right here. That really put me off in mood. So I hope that you enjoyed what you saw here today and that you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed watching me fail a 97% check with snake eyes. So thank you for watching. I hope we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.